son who
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to bring tonight's meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Barkley.
Here.
Walters.
Here.
Rarden.
Here.
Ewert. Benner.
Here.
Parton. Here. Crum.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Tonight's invocation will be given by Pastor Kurt Hansen, Haysville Christian Church.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that you've made, that you've given us to rejoice, to be glad in. We thank you for it. I thank you for Mayor Kessler's vision just to take the steps necessary to make Haysville a Purple Heart city. Father, you don't look at us as we look at one another. The always says you look at the heart. You know what's within each one of us. And I thank you tonight for those in the past that have fought, for the sacrifices that have been made, for the lives that we enjoy here today. We thank you there's going to be reminders as we enter this city that we live and we stand on the sacrifices of those of the past. And Father, we are blessed by those that continue to secure our freedoms in the present and the future. We need more love in our hearts, Lord. Only you can do that, as the world seems to be more and more angry. We just come with open hearts tonight and ask you to help us to love you with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength. Continue to love one another. I want to pray for our kids as they finish up another school year. We pray no evil would ever come to any child, that no evil will ever pass through the doors or even the parking lot of any of our schools, that our kids can finish strong and safe. We pray for the seniors that will be graduating. Lord, we just pray that they can continue their education and one day return here to invest their lives in this community, to continue to make this the blessed place to call home. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first I want to, thank everybody that's here tonight. I know the majority of you are here for the Purple Heart proclamation. I know we have a lot of special guests here tonight. We have, of course, Purple Heart recipients. Definitely appreciate you being here and for this proclamation. We have a lot of veterans. We have Colonel Marshall Gatlin from the 451st Expeditionary Sustainment Command. We have Colonel Ferry from the Med Group. We have Commissioner Dennis, Commissioner Lopez. We have Ms. Cox from Senator Marshall's office. Thank you for being here. BFW from Haysville, American Legion from the Derby Haysville Post. The Combat Vet Riders, is that right?
Motorcycle Association.
Oh, Motorcycle Association, thank you. We got Representative Kessler over here. Thank you for being here. Did I miss anybody? Maybe not. It's a lot of people, so. All right, I'm going to come on down here, read the proclamation. Bill Liggett, can you come up to the podium, please? Again, I just want to thank you for coming. This is the mayoral proclamation of Purple Heart City. Whereas Purple Heart is the oldest American military decoration and was created as a badge of military merit, made of the purple cloth in the shape of a heart with the word merit sewn upon it. On August 7th, 1782, in Newburgh, New York, by General George Washington. Then reestablished as the Purple Heart on February 22nd, 1932, by General Douglas MacArthur. And whereas the heritage it represents is sacred to those who know the price paid to wear the Purple Heart. And whereas the city of Haysville, Kansas, and our community have a great admiration and utmost gratitude for all the men and women who have and are selflessly serving their country and this community and the armed forces. And whereas veterans have paid the high price of freedom by leaving their families and communities and placing themselves in harm's way for the good of all. And whereas the contributions and sacrifices of the men and women who served in the armed forces have been vital in maintaining the freedoms and way of the life enjoyed by our citizens. And whereas many men and women in uniform have given their lives while serving in the armed forces. And whereas citizens of our country have received the Purple Heart Medal as a result of being wounded while engaged in combat with an enemy force, construed as a singular, meritorious act of essential service. And whereas the city of Haysville seeks to remember and recognize veterans who are recipients of the Purple Heart Medal. Therefore, I, Mayor Russ Kessler, proclaim the city of Haysville, Kansas, to be a Purple Heart City, honoring and serving the sacrifice of our nation's men and women in uniform, wounded or killed by the enemy while serving to protect our freedoms. So, just want to get the camera. There's a lot of cameras. All right. Shake your hand. Grab that. Grab this side.
The veterans that came with me are Zach Schumann, Raymond Reyes, and myself have come here to let you know that we're glad that you're here with us, helping us out. It took us a long time to start moving, but we're getting Purple Heart cities a little bit here and there. So we'd like to thank you all, especially all the veterans, whoever they are, whoever they may be, and also Gold Star mothers and wives, okay? I want to make sure and get those two put in there for us. Thank you for this, and we'll see you on the 15th.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, sir.
Do the VFW want to say just a couple words?
Greetings. My name is Dan Hubert. I'm a 24-year Air Force veteran, the Junior Vice Post Commander for VFW Post 6957 here in Haysville. Thank you for allowing me to say a few words as part of this proclamation. The Purple Heart Trail is a symbolic and honorary system of roads, highways, bridges, and other monuments that gives tribute to the men and women who have been awarded the Purple Heart Medal. The Purple Heart Trail accomplishes this honorary goal by creating a visual reminder to those who use the road system, have paid the high price for their freedom, and have paid the price for freedom, and so that we can live in a free society. Signs placed at various locations annotate those roads and highways, where legislation has been passed to designate parts of a national road system as the Purple Heart Trail. Here in Kansas, we have the Purple Heart Trail. Here in Kansas, we have the Purple Heart Pathway located in the City Memorial Park at McPherson, and all interstates or miles in Kansas are designated as Purple Heart Trail. Today, Haysville is recognized as a Purple Heart City along that trail and supports combat wounded veterans and works to ensure that Americans never forget the sacrifice made by U.S. military personnel. Haysville joins 6 cities, 2 counties, and 1 university as Purple Heart entities. My comrades and I at the post get to lead the parade. We get to lead the colors through the streets of Haysville every year. We get the honor of sharing the center stage at the Waco Cemetery on Memorial Day to remember past veterans who gave their lives. Mostly on blissful cold November days. We get to go out to the memorial here in Haysville and at the 11th hour, the 11th day of November, and share in honor and veteran service, right? My comrades, and represented by many different veteran organizations here and veterans throughout this room, are absolutely proud to be part of a city that year-round is dedicated to support present, past, and future American service members. But today is especially important as our city is recognized as a Purple Heart city. When that sign is posted at our city limits, know that as a community, we will honor our nation's Purple Heart recipients and recognize their willingness to put their life on the line and return home with the scars of battle. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And so next Monday, we'll have meet us at the VFW. We're gonna have a ceremony at 5:15 with refreshments at 4:45. So come a little bit early for refreshments and meet us at the VFW, and we'll have a ceremony honoring the VFW. Honoring the Purple Heart recipients. We'll also unveil the signage that we'll be putting out in our city at the entrances of the city, and along with banners. So please come back next Monday also to the VFW 5:15. So thank you very much, and thank you all for coming tonight. So appreciate it. So we're gonna move on with the meeting. Looks like a long meeting tonight. Everybody's welcome to stay, or it might be another hour. I appreciate everybody coming.
See you guys later. Thank you.
He was in space, he wanted you to take a picture. I saw you. You will want him to take your picture.
All right, next we'll have the Please Speak proclamation. Chief.
Thought I was going to have to talk in front of a big group. Pressure's all down. Mayor and Council, good evening. Whereas the Congress and the President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which May 15th falls is National Police Week, and whereas the members of the law enforcement agency of the City of Haysville play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the City of Haysville, and whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agency, and that members of our law enforcement agency recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression. And whereas the men and women of the Haysville Police Department unceasingly provide a vital public service. Now, therefore, Russ Kessler, Mayor of the City of Haysville, calls upon all citizens of Haysville and upon all patriotic, civic, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 14th through 20th, 2023 as Police Week, with appropriate ceremonies and observances in which all of our people may join in commemorating law enforcement officers, past and present, who, by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities, have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and in so doing have established for themselves an enviable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. He further calls upon all citizens of Haysville to observe May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in serving their community or have become disabled in the performance of their duty, and let us recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes. That's our proclamation for Police Week. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, we have proclamation for Public Works Week.
Good evening. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public's health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Haysville. And whereas these infrastructure facilities and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and essential facilities for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the civic leaders, citizens, and children in Haysville to gain knowledge of and to maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2023 marks the 62nd annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, the Canadian Public Works Association, be it now, therefore I, on behalf of Russ Kessler, Mayor of the City of Haysville, City Council, staff, and residents, hereby proclaim the week of May 21st to May 27th, 2023 as Public Works Week.
All right, thank you. And thank you both for reading those. Next we have a mayoral proclamation for Bike Month of May. Whereas May has been designed as National Bicycle Month since 1956 to showcase the many benefits of bicycling and encourage more people to try bicycling. Whereas creating bicycling friendly community has been shown to improve citizens' health, well-being, and quality of life, reducing pollution, congestion, and wear and tear on our streets and roads. And whereas throughout the month of May, the residents of Haysville and its visitors will experience the joys of bicycling simply by getting out and going for a ride. And whereas the week of May 15th is National Bike to Work Week, which promotes bicycling as a viable means of transportation to and from work, and Friday, May 19th is Bike to Work Day. Now therefore, I, Russ Kessler, Mayor of the City of Haysville, Kansas, on behalf of the council, staff, and the residents, hereby proclaim May as Bike Month, dated today, 8th of May. All right, next we have recognition of Jose Haysville for Wastewater Operator Award of Excellence.
Jose, come on up here. So I'm happy to take a moment to recognize Jose Aguilar. He's our wastewater superintendent for the city. He joined our team in May of 2016. Since then, he has consistently demonstrated exceptional technical skills and a commitment to providing outstanding service to our community. In April of 2020, Jose was promoted to the wastewater superintendent, and since then, he has continued to excel in his role. Not only has he shown great technical ability in the field of wastewater, but he has also grown tremendously as a leader. In recognition of his achievements, I'm proud to share with you guys that Jose has received the Kansas Municipal Utilities Wastewater Operator Award of Excellence. This is a tremendous honor, and it's testament to Jose's dedication, hard work, and exceptional leadership. Please join me in congratulating Jose. The mic is yours if you like.
It's not a Purple Heart, but I'm also reading it. Have a good night.
It's always great when we can recognize our employees.
Thank you.
All right, next we have presentation and approval of minutes. Hey, minutes of April 10th, 2023. Councilman Bitter.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes of the April 10, 2023 business meeting.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of April 10th, 2023. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Next we have Ken Bell. I don't see him. Oh, there he is.
He didn't move, he was.
We have Ken Bell, Director of Haysville Community Library, regarding the citywide garage sale.
So thank you, Mayor, and members of the council. I appreciate the opportunity to appear before you. As you know, the City of Haysville has hosted the longest continuing running annual citywide garage sale in the nation, which is now well into its 5th decade. I'm here on behalf of the Friends of the Community Library to request that you authorize the 43rd annual citywide garage sale to be conducted by the Friends of the Library, to authorize them to sell permits, and to host that sale on the second weekend of August, that's August 12th and 13th this year, and that you further preclude all sales from being conducted on the Friday immediately before that weekend, that's August 11th. The historical support of this council for the citywide garage sale and for the Haysville Community Library is deeply and immensely appreciated.
Council, what would you like to do? Councilman Crum?
I make a motion that we allow the sale for the citywide garage sales permits for the library for the dates mentioned in August and all the other requests that they made.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the community library to sell the garage sale permits as presented on August 12th and 13th and preclude them from being sold on the 11th. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next, item 2, approval of licenses and bonds. We have none. Item 3, introduction of ordinances and resolutions. A, an ordinance concerning adoption of a flood plan management plan. This is where we had the public hearing at our last meeting. Councilman Crum?
I make a motion that we approve the ordinance concerning the adoption of a floodplain management plan. I can talk.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance concerning the adoption of a flood plan management plan.
Floodplain. That's what I do.
Right. We have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance concerning adoption of a floodplain management plan. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Varden,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have a resolution determining the advisability of the making of certain internal improvements in the city of Haysville, Kansas, making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing and providing for making of the improvements in accordance with such findings, paving improvements, Wheatland Village Addition Phase 1. Councilman Crum?
I make a motion that we approve the resolution for paving improvements of Wheatland Village Addition Phase 1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Varden,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have a resolution determining the advisability of the making of certain internal improvements in the city of Haysville, Kansas, making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing and providing for the making of the improvements in accordance with such findings, sanitary sewer improvements, Wheatland Village Addition Phase 1. Councilperson Barton?
Make a motion, we approve the resolution for the sewer improvements at Wheatland Village.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for sewer as presented. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Varden,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have D, a resolution determining the advisability of the making of certain internal improvements in the city of Haysville, Kansas, making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing and providing for the making of the improvements in accordance with such findings, water improvements for Wheatland Village Addition Phase 1. Councilman Benner?
I make a motion, we approve a resolution for the water improvements for Wheatland Village Addition Phase 1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for the water improvements for Wheatland Village Addition Phase 1. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barclay.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Burton.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Barton.
Yes.
Crumb.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have E, resolution determining the advisability of the making of certain internal improvements in the city of Haysville, Kansas, making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing and providing for the making of improvements in accordance with such findings, paving improvements, collector streets, Wheatland Village addition. Councilperson Barton?
Make a motion, we approve the resolution for the paving improvements, Collector Street for Wheatland Village.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for paving improvements for collector streets. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barclay.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Burton.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Barton.
Yes.
Crumb.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have F, a resolution determining the advisability of the making of certain internal improvements in the city of Haysville, Kansas, making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing and providing for the making of the improvements in accordance with such findings, stormwater drain improvements, Wheatland Village addition. Councilman Crowe?
I make a motion, we approve the resolution for the stormwater drain improvements of Wheatland Village Edition.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barclay.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Burton.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Barton.
Yes.
Crumb.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
And G, a resolution determining the advisability of the making of certain internal improvements in the city of Haysville, Kansas, making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing and providing for the making of the improvements in accordance with such findings, water main improvements, Wheatland Village addition. Councilman Benner?
I make a motion, we approve the resolution for the water main improvements, Wheatland Village Edition.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barclay.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Burton.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Barton.
Yes.
Crumb.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next we have item 4, notices of communication, governing body announcements. Councilman Crum?
I'll try these reads. I had trouble reading this because I forgot my reading glasses. Coming up at the library, today they are actually having a thing this evening for special needs, community, people that have special needs. There's a community support meeting tonight at the library. It's actually going on right now. If you'd like any information about that, though, you can call the library and find out about it. Summer reading signups will begin on May 15th. They are using Reader Zone this year to attract to keep track of the reading. All ages are welcome. There's different prizes, there's workshops, there's activities, performers. So you can call the library, get information on that. Like I said, the sign-up start on the 15th. Friends at the Library is having a free coffee, punch, and cookie on Tuesday, May 16th from 10 to 11 a.m. So if you're interested in maybe finding out about Friends of the Library and what they do, that'd be a great chance for you to find that out. The next Lego Club is on May 17th at 4 o'clock. They meet in the community room. Friday, May 19th, which is the first full day out of school for the students here in Haysville, they're having a stuffed animal sleepover, which means that the animals sleep over at the library. Kids can bring them in, enjoy a story time with them, do a craft, and then they will leave and the animals will get to spend the night in the library, and then they will come up and pick them up in the morning, and they'll also get some pictures of their stuffed animals enjoying themselves over the night. And then the free summer movies are just gonna start up next Tuesday, the 23rd, at 3 o'clock. The first movie will be Chicken Run. That's in the community room, and popcorn and bottled water will be provided. And that pretty much goes on all summer long on Tuesday afternoons. So there's also a blood drive coming up Saturday, May 27th from 11 to 4. And then I think that maybe, they've got a lot of activities coming up in June. You can actually find that on their website. I'll just mention a couple of those because we don't meet until after some of these get going. They already have special performances going on. They've got Laughing Matters and a group called Traveling Lantern the first 2 weeks in June. They've got different activities. They've got slime making and tie-dye first couple of weeks in June. They got different craft classes going on, so please check out the library this summer. There's lots of stuff to do for the kids.
All right, thank you. Councilperson Martin?
Coming up on June 10th is the Shredded event here in front of City Hall. Haysville Pride and Golden Plains Credit Union will be sponsoring that. It'll be from 9 a.m. to noon, so gather up your sensitive papers you need shredded and bring them on down.
All right, thank you. Any other announcements? For the senior center, upcoming events, Taco Bar, Friday, May 12th at 6 p.m. A Fancy Hat Tea Party, that's on Wednesday, May 17th at 1 p.m. A CPAAA Wellness in the Park Trip, that is Thursday, May 18th. Leave on the Hustle at 12:30 p.m. The senior center and Haysville Hustle will be closed on Memorial Day, May 29th. No meals on Will's Friendship Mills. All right. May breakfast has been canceled due to holiday weekend. Commodity distribution in May has also been canceled. The Senior Planning Committee election is this month. If you are interested in serving on the committee, please contact staff by Friday, May 12th. Voting will take place from May 15th through the 26th. Ballots are available at the Senior Center, and you must be a current member to serve or vote. Some recurring events, Matter of Balance program through the CPAAA. It's on Tuesdays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. for 7 more weeks. Cards Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Donuts and coffee on the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of the month. Chair yoga, Mondays at 10 a.m. Steps, Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Drumming, Fridays at 10:30 a.m. And dominoes, Mondays and Fridays at 1 p.m. So this last week, I had the honor of watching David and Jerry Straub. Many of you know them. They received a plaque. They were stepping down from the council after this year. So they have both served more than 20 plus years for the senior center. So just reading the plaque, they did a lot of things in these last 20 years. So if you see them, just tell them thank you for all the service they did for the city and for the senior center. The Mayor's Youth Leadership Council, we're currently taking applications for them. So if you know a high school student or one that will be in high school next year for the 2023-2024 school year, please encourage them to fill out an application for the Mayor's Youth Leadership Council. And they can get with Will or get on the website to find out more information. Also, like I mentioned before, next Monday on the 15th, we're going to be having a Purple Heart City ceremony at the VFW here in Haysville. Refreshments will be served starting at 4:45, and the ceremony will be at 5:15. So everybody is welcome to come. On the 18th, we're going to have the Mayor's Bike Ride. You can start checking in at 6:30, and the bike ride will start at 7. There'll be 3 bikes given away this year again, like last year, so it should be fun. Hoping for good weather. I'm sure it will be. So either way, we'll ride. All right, next we have Sedgwick County Fire Department Station 34 monthly report. It's in your packet. And also there's a memo regarding the organized trash collection planning meeting, the first one that was held. All right, next we have item 5, old business, we have none. Item 6, other business, A, aquatics feasibility study, presentation of concept. We have Andy Smith here today.
Thank you. So tell me how this is going to work, Tony. Okay. All right. I just want to briefly share with you what we presented at a public meeting several weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. We conducted a survey, as you know, back this past winter. We got 278 folks, which represented about 7%. How do I advance this?
Next slide.
Okay, next slide. All right, next slide, please. So that represents about 7% of the households here in Haysville. To me, what was really telling was we got a lot of folks that are invested in the pool. 2/3 of the folks actually use the current pool. 15% of those are swim team members. And I think that that's very telling that 2/3 of the folks, 7% of the community did the survey, and most respondents were more interested in indoor water than they were a brand-new outdoor facility. They were interested in making some enhancements and improvements to the outdoor facility, but indoor water is what really caught their imagination. Next slide, please. So this bar graph, I think, is pretty telling. The warm colors, the red and the yellow, represent a positive response, and the cool colors, the blue colors, a less positive response. But you can see, starting at the bottom, that the new outdoor swimming pool didn't get near the favorable response that some of the other options did. Remodeling the bathhouse, renovating the existing outdoor facility scored higher than just a new outdoor facility, but again, the thing that scored the highest is that new indoor swimming pool. Next slide, please. We also gathered a lot of information. There's a lot of data here. I'm not going to go through all of it here. But, to suffice it to say, the takeaway message from this slide is there's a lot of leisure activities that were asked for in an outdoor facility, with the exception of one large dollar item, a wave pool. Most all of these things are actually featured in the concept I'm going to show you in a minute. Next slide, please. Yes. Again, the overwhelming or the response of the survey showed that folks were interested in an indoor swimming pool. Next slide. Again, we asked questions of amenities. Again, those responses were geared more towards were geared very much towards leisure and family activities. Next slide, please. We also discussed how they would use the pool. Again, leisure, water therapy, water aerobics, using the facility for parties, swim lessons, of course, water walking, a variety of uses of all ages, and families as well as adults. Next slide. So we also asked questions about would the folks, the respondents of the survey, be supportive of funding this, and the question was, would you be interested in renewing a 1-cent sales tax to help cover the cost of these facilities? And most respondents were, and most respondents were also somewhat agreeable to an increase in user rates. Next slide, please. So, in conclusion, the survey told us that an indoor pool is really what's preferred. They do want to see some enhancements to the outdoor water, mostly leisure, and that they would be supportive of helping pay for it. Next slide. So, because of the overall cost of all these improvements, we did have to look at this as a phased approach, and because indoor water was the biggest vote getter, that shows up as phase 1, with outdoor water being phase 2, and I'll discuss the splash pad here in a second. Next slide, please. So the phase 1, what we looked at was putting an indoor facility directly to the north of the existing swimming pool and directly to the west of the HAC, in that area just between the pool and Sarah Lane. As you can see, the natatorium will be located right on top of where the existing splash pad is. And one of the other takeaways from the survey was a lot of folks like that splash pad and use that splash pad. So we have to factor in the timing and replacing that amenity, because it needs to reside somewhere else to accomplish this concept, and what's the timing of replacing that splash pad. Next slide, please. So just a little bit closer in here, starting on the left, the area to the left is a mechanical space that supports the swimming pool. the indoor swimming pool, as well as it would be master planned for the outdoor swimming pool. The existing 50-meter pool that is out there is in the next several years going to be in need of replacement of that entire mechanical system. And that's part of the Phase 2 package. Not only are we enhancing the outdoor facility, but we'll be doing the necessary replacement of the mechanical system to that pool. And we've master planned this space to accommodate both the indoor and the outdoor swimming pool mechanical equipment. Then we have the natatorium itself. I'll show you some images just representative of the vision we have for that pool. The next slide. These just are representative of what we envision for this. Now, can we go back 2 slides? So once we get away from that auditorium, of course we have locker rooms, men's and women's, as well as a large family locker room, because this pool will be used extensively by families. We have a party room immediately adjacent in the lower right-hand corner of the natatorium, a party room that can be rented out, used year-round. It can also be used, it also has entry off of the outdoor pool, so it can be used in the summer months as well. We have concessions that can be used for both year-round, indoor and outdoor. And then there's an additional classroom, and over on the right-hand side, the entrance would be off of Sarah Lane. The main entrance into this would be off of Sarah Lane to the north. We'd have some on-street parking for handicapped, with additional parking to support this addition to the north of Sarah Lane. Beyond the control desk is a classroom and then a connection to the existing HAC. All of this construction is intended to be performed while maintaining the existing outdoor swimming pool, with the exception of the splash pad, which is in the way of construction. Next slide. So we've seen these before. Next slide, please. And next slide. So this is the concept for the outdoor facility. In paying attention to what we learned in the survey, we have a lot of leisure water to accompany the existing 50-meter by 25-yard pool that you have at the dive well. We have a shallow beach area. As you can see, it's right. It's adjacent to the existing natatorium. I think there's some fun things that could potentially be done at the appropriate times of the summer months, where there could be some opening of doors at certain times to share that space. There's a lazy river that comes off of the beach area to the right. And then we have a couple different slide packages that could potentially be constructed out there. Two slides that go into the 50-meter pool, not unlike what you have today, but on the opposite side. And then we have a larger slide tower which has runouts onto the deck. And you can see this. You can see how our proposed location for the relocated splash pad is down there in the bottom right-hand corner. Next slide. Again, just some images representative of what our vision is. And in addition to just aquatic features in the outdoor facility, we think it would be very interesting to have some deck amenities that aren't necessarily all just water play. So that life-size chess set, as an example, represents that. Next slide, please. So these are the budgetary costs. I'm going to tell you right now, because I know Will knows this. There is a typo on here. My apologies. The indoor facility concept phase 1 is $12.5 million, and the outdoor facility concept is $5 million. The overall dollar amount at $18 million is where the budget on this thing is at, and that's what we presented at the public meeting 3 weeks ago. Next slide. So what we have left in our scope of services to you for this study phase is a second public meeting and then a final report, and that just summarizes everything we've done. I failed to mention Robert Love of Schaefer Architecture is here with me. They are the ones who have developed the building addition. So if you have any questions of him, feel free. And that's everything I wanted to present to you, and I'll entertain questions.
Does council have any questions? Councilman Crumpet?
I have a question. I don't know if it's one you can answer. I don't know if anybody from the city can answer this right now. Right now, Rob, do you have any idea what the limit is on how many people can fit in the pool right now? How many do we cut it off at?
Roughly 600.
Do we have any idea at all how much this would increase that number by?
As far as the indoor, no, I don't know.
Well, the indoor and the outdoor. I'm just curious because people are always talking about we need to find more things for the younger kids and teenagers and stuff to do, and this is exactly that. It's going to give kids more things to do, and so I would maybe, if we get a chance, to maybe try to figure that out, see that what that would increase the numbers that could be in there. I would be curious to see that, please.
Okay.
And then one other thing, just kind of want to point out, when you talked about the new splash pad, that also had a restroom with it that would be able to be used, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Thank you.
Any further questions, council? I don't see any. So, thank you very much for the
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you.
All right, next we have B, consideration of Wheatland Village Addition Final Plat. Jonathan and Charlie Brown is also here. Answer questions.
Thank you, Mayor. City Council. On September 22nd of last year, the Haysville Planning Commission reviewed the final plat for the Wheatland Village Addition, and the following action was taken. Motion was made to approve the final plat contingent on the final drainage outfall as coordinated by the adjacent property owner, as stated by the staff, and not to be presented to you until an agreement is reached. The motion passed with 5 yeses and 2 abstentions. The agreement has been reached and is now being finalized. The city will record this final plat once fully executed agreement has been received, and this is now before you for your consideration.
Council have any questions, or? Councilman Crum?
So I make a motion, we approve the consideration of the Wheatland Village Addition final plat, depending on once we've received the agreement between the two parties involved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Abstain.
Walters,
No.
Warden,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have consideration of agreement with PEC regarding Wheatland Village Addition infrastructure design. And the memo's in your packet. Councilman Crum?
I make a motion that we approve the agreement with PEC regarding the Wheatland Village Addition infrastructure design.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with PEC regarding the Wheatland Village Addition infrastructure design. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Warden,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
D, we have consideration of agreement with PEC regarding water supply and treatment study. Tony?
Good evening. I'm here to request your approval for an agreement with PEC for the water supply and treatment study. As you know, water is arguably the most important commodity to a community and its growth. This study will evaluate the quality and quantity of our water source, including an assessment of our water rights. It will also evaluate the condition of our water treatment facilities, and most importantly, develop a long-term plan to ensure the sustainability of our water supply now and into the future. The water supply and treatment study is a vital undertaking for our community and is a budgeted item in our water fund, and I'm requesting your approval of the agreement with PEC to perform the study in the amount of $35,000.
Councilman Crum?
Do you know when the last time we had a study done was?
Not on treatment or water rights, no.
Okay. When I was in the state legislature, I was actually on the water committee, and water is starting to be a really huge issue for a lot of places in the state, and it's moving this way. And Haysville's in a really good position because we have our own wells. There are so many cities around here and stuff that are completely tied into Wichita's system, and we're not. So I think this is probably a really good idea to make sure that we've got this water here that is ours, that we have the rights to, and we make sure that we're using it efficiently and making sure that it's staying safe for our citizens. So I'd make a motion that we approve this agreement with PEC for the water supply and treatment study.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with PEC regarding the water supply and treatment study. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rarden,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have E, consideration of supplemental agreement with PEC regarding River Forest Third Edition infrastructure design. So this is a reduction in fee. Their engineers are doing more than what we initially had thought. Councilman Benner?
Make a motion, we approve the supplemental agreement with PEC regarding the River Forest Third Edition infrastructure.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the supplemental agreement with PEC regarding River Forest Third Edition infrastructure design. Councilman Barkley?
Sorry, just a quick question. Where's River Forest? Is that?
This is where the assisted living facility is going?
Oh, okay. East side of Seneca.
Yes.
Okay. That's all.
Councilman Crowe?
Just kind of curious, is this kind of a normal thing with a thing like this coming in where you actually have two different engineer things coming together?
It's the first one I've experienced, and it's a little bit odd to get a change request for $53,000 and deduct. So it just that the assisted living facilities engineers, they received whatever marching orders from the assisted living group to design more than we thought they were going to. So our initial agreement with PEC was design more of the infrastructure around it, so now they're not having to do as much work. So
Okay, so we don't see with any potential problem from.
no, we had a good meeting, it was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, between everybody, and made sure everybody knew what everybody was doing, and that's when we got the deduct change order, supplemental agreement.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rarden,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Next, we have F, consideration of supplemental agreement with PEC regarding the D21 design. And the memos in your packet, unless you have any questions.
This is the drainage plan, right?
Correct, yes. Councilman Crum?
I make a motion that we approve, where we at? The supplemental agreement with PEC regarding the D21 design.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the consideration of supplemental agreement with PEC regarding the D21 design. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Gordon,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Horton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have G, consideration of bids for street program. Tony?
So the bid letting for the approved street maintenance program was held on May 1st. As you may remember, this year's plan includes a total reconstruction of Bothman and Hemp Hill, and also a mill and overlay of Second Street from Ranger to Beechwood. I'm here before you to request the approval from the bid from APAC Kansas Incorporated Shears Division in the amount of $565,365. This will be paid out of street sales tax funds. Our in-house estimate was just over $494,000, so the price was $71,000 higher than expected. But I stand for you for any questions you may have.
Councilman Crum?
Did we have the additional funds in there to cover that?
Yes.
Okay, that all comes from the 1% sales tax. I make a motion that we approve the bid from APAC Kansas Inc. and the amount of $565,365 for the street program as presented. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bids for the street program. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Gordon,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Horton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have H, consideration of bids for water storage building.
Again, I'm here to request your approval for the construction of a new water department storage building that'll be located at the Public Works facility. The proposed building will be 40 feet by 48 feet structure and will be used to store water department materials and equipment. Currently, most of our water department material is stored outside. We did receive multiple bids for this project due to manufacturers not all having the same size building. The building sizes are not the same. It's only broken out in square footage as well. After consideration, I'm recommending that we approve the bid from Yoder Engineered Structures Incorporated for $62,087. This project is also a budgeted item and will be paid from water contractual funds.
Councilman Crum?
So this is gonna be a new building,
Correct.
and it says in the thing that it's gonna be on a cement pad. Are we gonna put that in?
That's with this agreement as
That's-
well.
So that's in the cost as
Yes.
well?
Councilman Walters?
Tony, why did we go with Yoder instead of Triple B?
So we wanted to capture, we have a lot of material in the yard, so that extra, I think it's an extra 300 square feet, and it's the cheaper one also in the square footage.
Okay.
Councilperson Barton?
There's no other questions. I make a motion we approve the storage building from Yoder Engineered Structures.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the water department storage building as presented. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Gordon,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Horton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have I, consideration of bids for purchase and installation of the transfer switch and generator at water wells.
So the city's water supply relies on well fields, which can be disrupted by power outages. Any disruption in power can supply or impact inability to supply water to our residents. Currently, we manually have to haul a generator and tie it into our electrical system out there. This generator will provide backup power to our well fields in the event of a power outage, and the transfer switch will automatically switch that power source from the electrical grid to the generator. We performed our due diligence. We have decided to purchase the generator directly and the transfer switch directly from the manufacturer to alleviate any price markups. Therefore, I'm seeking approval for the purchase of the generator and transfer switch from Central Power Systems and Services in the amount of $55,880, and to improve the installation of the equipment to be performed by Shelley Electric for $7,500. And again, these are budgeted items and will be paid out of water funds.
Councilperson Barton?
I'm good with keeping the water running, so I vote we approve the bid for $55,880 for the switch and transform, or whatever the heck it is, generator, and then $7,500 for Shelley Electric to install it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bid as presented for the transfer switch generator and installation on the water, at the water wells. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rardon,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crumb,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have J, consideration of repairs to the mixer at the wastewater treatment facility.
So we've also obtained quotes to rebuild a turbine mixer at our wastewater plant. This mixer is responsible for keeping the solids in the basin suspended and mixing with the liquid to facilitate the treatment process. Seeking authorization to contract with JCI Industries in the amount of $15,300. This will be paid out of the wastewater equipment maintenance fund.
Councilman Crowe?
And this is just for a repair?
Yes.
Is it working right now, or is it shut down?
So we have two of everything in the wastewater plant, so one somewhat suffices, and this is why we need to get it repaired though. But
And a new one is,
more expensive, a lot of times these can be repaired very easily. Most of the pumps and motors we have in wastewater just repaired and can have many years of life.
if there's no other discussion, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve, the bid from JCI Industries for $15,300 for repair, the mixer at the wastewater plant.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the bid for repairs to the mixer at the wastewater plant. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rardon,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crumb,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have K, consideration of bid for nuisance abatement services.
So lastly, we have requested proposals from numerous contractors, 50 to be exact, for nuisance mowing services. H&H Lawn Service LLC was the only bidder this year. I'm seeking approval to accept the bid from H&H Lawn Service for this calendar year for nuisance mowing services.
Councilperson Harden?
Just out of curiosity, on average, how many times do we have to use it?
30,
Okay.
give or take.
Councilman Crowe?
With that many requests, that one only got one bid in, and if I remember right, last year we only got one bid in.
Yeah, this is the same contractor we had last year. We reached out to 50. I made a lot of phone calls. Our code enforcement officer made a lot of phone calls trying to persuade contractors to bid. And the ones I talked to just said they're way too busy. They said I would hate to commit to something that I can't actually have the time to perform. Most is what they told me.
Okay.
Councilman Barkley?
Well, I was just curious, Tony, why don't we just use our own guys?
Main thing would be just how spread thin they already are. We mow over like 60 acres of irrigated turf. Something we could definitely do, but I think we'd have to add people. And then obviously when you start talking benefits and pay and salary, adds up quite a bit. This thing, anytime if somebody's property's mowed, it's put on their tax rolls. So the city actually pays up front, but then eventually if the property is sold, then the city gets their money back as well.
Gotcha.
Councilman Bitter?
I make a motion, we approve the agreement with H&H Lawn Service.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bid for the nuisance abatement services. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Rardon,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crumb,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony. You can sit down for a few minutes. All right, next we have, Councilman Walters, do you have some?
Yeah, just for Tony, reminding about that wastewater plant that we have and the work you're doing. Every time I go by 63rd and hydraulic in the summertime, I'm reminded how much I appreciate the work that you're doing with our city and with that wastewater plant. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Don't jinx us though.
Next we have L, consideration of patrol car purchase.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight, we have a consideration of a patrol car purchase. We're replacing one of our patrol vehicles as we normally do in our fleet per year. The last few years, due to supply chain issues and lack of available vehicles, is getting better, but it's still not great. There still are no state bid contracts to purchase from, so we went ahead and requested 3 bids of vehicles and received the following. We're going to stick with the Dodge Durango police pursuit vehicle and get away from the Fords. The Fords still have availability issues. We still can't even find one or get told when they're gonna be there. We got 3 bids. The first one was not in stock out of Parks of Augusta, and of course, they were the low bid. Vehicle was not in stock. They could not tell us when it would be in stock. They said they would have to order it and couldn't give us an ETA. So we pulled that bid out of the group. We're requesting approval to purchase one 2023 Dodge Durango Pursuit all-wheel drive vehicle from Superior Emergency Vehicles at a cost of $40,950. Now, the reason for that is the same vendor that does all of our emergency equipment installations, so it's basically a one-stop shop. They're located out by Andover. So the vehicle would just get everything equipped and it would be delivered to us all completely decked out and everything. Which that's a separate cost in putting the lights and everything in it, but it would all be done in the same location. It is a budgeted item. The funds will come from the law enforcement fund. I'd stand for any questions or
Councilman Crum?
So just to clarify, basically, it's a higher bid, but only by like $400 for the one that's available. And we're doing that more than anything to expedite how long it will take for the vehicle to get ready to get here.
That's correct. The other bid was $364 difference, and that one was out of Hutch.
Okay.
So that was the closest one.
Councilman Walters?
If there's no other questions, I make a motion we approve the 2023 Dodge Durango from Superior Emergency Vehicles.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bid from Superior Emergency Vehicles as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Thank you.
All right, next we have M, consideration of shed for Plagans Carpenter Ball Fields.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The Haysville Recreation Department is requesting authorization to purchase a new storage shed. Our current shed is worn down and needs to be replaced. Also, with the continued expansion of our youth baseball and softball program, our storage space at Plagans Carpenter Park needs to be increased. Our current storage is a 10-foot by 20-foot pre-built building. The portable garage is a pre-built structure as well that is 16 by 40. I'm requesting authorization to purchase the portable garage from Better Built Structures for a total of $19,705.75. Better Built Structures is the only business in this area that builds this size of the wooden storage shed with garage. This will be paid for out of the sustainability grant funds. And I stand for any questions.
Councilperson Harton.
How are you gonna get that in the gates? If it's
We're
pre-built?
contracting a separate project with a fencing company to remove a couple sections of fence so we can get a wheel back there.
Okay, I'm gonna say, cause I was back there, it wasn't very big.
Your truck won't full.
It might, I got 2 trucks.
Put them both up.
Councilperson Harton.
No other questions, I make a motion, we accept the bid for $19,705.75 for Better Built Structures for the portable garage.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bid for purchase of the storage shed as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Harton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Next, we have item 7, department reports. A, administrative services. Georgie?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. On Saturday, June 3rd, the hometown market will open up. Hours are 8 to noon during the months of June, July, and August. Last week, we did open up a new economic development survey. You can find this on the webpage and our social media pages. If you have not completed that, I do encourage you to do so. Lastly, Park Board opened up nominations for Citizen of the Year. You can find this on the webpage, or if you need a paper copy, you can call me here at City Hall and I can get you one. Nominations are due by Tuesday, May 30th, and the award will be presented during the 4th of July celebration. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next, we have city clerk, Angie.
Good evening. Tomorrow, City Hall will be open until 7:00 p.m. for anybody who needs to come in after work. City offices will be closed on May 29th for Memorial Day, and if there are any water emergencies, please call 529-5912.
Thank you. Next, we have police, chief.
We've got a couple things tonight. First of all, as you may have seen in the media, the Civic Ready program has gone live for Sedgwick County. That program will be replacing our Nixle service that we currently use for mass notifications in case of emergency. It also has some aspects to it that allow us to send out some community bulletins. Citizens are welcome to sign up for that. You can opt into whichever different advisories you'd like to have, whether it be the community events or just the police and emergency events or things like that. That is available on our website. We have a link to get signed up for that. If anybody has signed up for it already, it's real easy to do. It doesn't take but just a couple minutes to put your information in there, and it'll send you an email when you have things. More important things would come out as a text message, kind of like it's basically kind of the same that the Nixle service works now. That should receive your advisories. If you do have any questions, feel free to call the police department. I can answer questions, or there's plenty of information out there on Sedgwick County's website and on our city website to refer you out there. The next thing to have is the Click It or Ticket campaign that we participate in yearly. Is going to start on May 22nd and run through June 4th. This is where we have extra officers out on KDOT grant money to come out and work on seatbelt enforcement, trying to make sure people are buckled up. So please make sure that you're buckled up every time you get in the car and go out. Also make sure anybody else in the car is buckled up, kids in the back. You don't always pay attention to what they're doing back there, but make sure they're buckled up just to make sure everybody's safe. Next thing we've got our visiting officer is Officer Austin Barrett out there somewhere. Say hi to him as you go by. He is currently assigned to the second shift in the afternoon. So around this time of night, he's normally out there. The next thing that we got is Councilperson Crum mentioned that school is getting out very soon. Not soon enough for probably some people, but just a reminder on the curfew for kids. Minors age 15 and under can't be out on the streets between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. except for Fridays and Saturdays, and then those hours are midnight to 6, so they can't be out on the streets during that time. For minors age 16 and 17, between the hours of midnight and 6, except for Fridays and Saturdays, which are 1 a.m. and 6 the following day. So just keep that in mind. Again, if you have any questions on curfew, just give us a call at the police department, or it is also available under the city code. Under Chapter 11, talks about curfew and some violations there and responsibilities that parents have, so that's out there. Let's see, our drug take back that we had just a couple weeks ago. Just wanted to give you some results from that. We took in 14 boxes of unwanted prescription drugs, and that was approximately 317 pounds. So I want to say thank you to everybody that brought their prescription drugs out there and disposed of them properly to make sure that they stay out of our sewer system and stay out of the hands of anybody that doesn't need them. So, and that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Public Works. Tony?
So the recycling center at Public Works will be open on Saturday, May 27th from 10 a.m. to noon. And also what I'll call the non-traditional citywide cleanup will be held on June 3rd at Public Works from 8 a.m. to noon. We'll have staff on site to help unload any trailers or trucks. And also a weird water fact, since we've been talking about water. So last year, 2022, we pumped a total of 409 million gallons of water.
Thank you. Next we have Recreation. Rob?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Food Truck Thursdays is starting back on May 18th. So we'll have a food truck out here in front of City Hall from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. First truck will be Face Stuffers. On May 20th, we'll be having our senior-only pickleball tournament. The Haysville Pool will open for the season on May 27th. Haysville Activity Center will be closed on May 29th. When Pigs Fly 1 mile run walk will be in Dorner Park on June 2nd. Kids Parks Day will be in Riggs Park on June 3rd at 10 a.m. Soccer camp will be June 5th through the 9th in Dorner Park. Wichita Children's Theater will be at the Haysville Activity Center on June 6th at 2 p.m. Metropolitan Ballet will be in Riggs Park on June 8th. We'll have basketball camp on June 12th through the 16th at the Hack, and then we'll have our Jackie Styles basketball camp on June 13th. This will be for upgrading for 1st grade through 12th grade. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Next, we have item 8, appointments. Councilman Morris.
Just a quick question, Rob. On pickleball, what do you consider a senior?
55.
Oh, okay.
What was it?
55.
Speak
Same as
louder
senior
for
center.
him.
That's the same age that, 55 to join the senior center, so. It's only $5 a year. It's great. You got great food. Next, we have item 8, appointments. We have none for tonight. Item 9, off agenda citizens to be heard. I don't think we have any citizens to be heard out there. Item 10, executive session. We have none tonight. Item 11, review of expenditures. A, summary of April expenditures. Councilperson Barton.
Make a motion, we receive and file the April expenditures.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve, to receive and file the April expenditures. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Varden?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Harton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Next, item 12, consent agenda. We have one item on there. Councilman Crum.
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Varden?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Harton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Item 13, council items. A, council concerns. No concerns. All right, we'll move on. Item B, council action request updates.
All right, so an update for 7050 Plaza. We made contact with the new property owner. They've indicated they're going to be remodeling the property. We've communicated to them that progress must happen quickly, otherwise we'll hit them up with a notice to appear in municipal court. They told us last week they're going to have it recited on the 11th of this month. 7106 South Broadway, the property owner was arrested this morning on a failure to appear warrant, and he has a court date tomorrow. And 260 Sunnyside, the violation has been taken care of, and that case is considered closed. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, we have item 14, adjournment.
Mayor, make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Varden?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Harton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.